Right. Hello fellow viewers and welcome back to yet another edition of Wild Wednesday. And I think today we're gonna try a bit on Route 110. I still didn't get the shiny Minun and I want it. So let's start there. So I already saved in the city that I believed is called Marvel City in English. Because I'm playing the game in German, that obviously means that sometimes the languages make it so that the city names are completely different. For example, Marvel City is called Lavandia in French. That's so something completely different and something more reminiscent of Lavender Town from Generation 1. But yeah, we are right now here with our programs, with our Eontimer, Pokéfinder, you know it, it's always the same. Right, so let's go to, with location, I pick Route 110. And I want a Minun. I have my synchronizer here, the Espeon that's now level 100. Not that that changes anything, but it is fun to do. Right, so the delay, because I'm using Sweet Scent and I am outside, is 261 frames. Yeah, Adamant, I want a Minun. Yeah, should be all good. Alright, so that is the earliest frame that I can get. Good luck, thank you, darling. Hopefully I will have a, let's say, frugal or successful, not frugal, but successful hunt today. The last one was not, didn't get a lot of shinies. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes I miss the exact timing. I mean, it is 1/60th of a second, so I just want to demonstrate that if you tried enough, that you can get so many shinies in a very short amount of time. And hopefully maybe this will inspire some other people doing the same, just as I'm a Blissey and others have done for me. So let's start. So Minun, Shiny Minun is actually better. I prefer that one over Shiny Plozzel. Shiny Plozzel we had last week. That one changes from a more faded red to a more not cinnamon, but like a dark Bordeaux red. At least that is what the shiny looks like. So it's a type of shiny that I'm not that much of a fan of, at least talking about the Plozzel now. Minun changes from the standard somewhat dark mid-blue. The shiny is teal, somewhat like the shiny Latios, that kind of teal. Not one of the best shinies, but I mean, we're getting so many shinies here. If I would do this the old-fashioned way, with just going to look for random encounters and hoping for the best, then I would have not gotten this many shinies. At least I would have had to invest much or many more hours into hunting them. RNG Manipulation cuts out so many hours, so much time. You can skip so many hours and you get a lot of like the amount of shinies you get. If you would divide that with the hours you're looking for it, then RNG Manipulation is the fastest way of getting a lot of shinies, I would say. Even though maybe that claim does not hold true for if I compare it to other methods, like I think it was got introduced in Generation 6, if I'm not mistaken, where you can chain fish. That way you can also get an okay amount of shinies in a quick amount of time. There's other things as well, like the radar, but I mean, I can't, that's just a feeling that I have. I don't have the exact stats, but it looks like, at least to me, that RNG Manipulation has given me the most amount of shinies in the shortest amount of time. And also because it is very technical, it requires technical skill, ability, and all that. You need to understand somewhat how the game generates frames. It makes it more interesting than standard, just not run of the mill. I'm not saying that random encounters is less or more. I'm not like that. I'm not an elitist when it comes to that. Do whatever you want, how you like it. Every form of shiny hunting is equally valid in my book. But it is interesting, or the most interesting way for me, RNG hunting, because like I said before, it's not just pure luck is what I'm saying. It involves a bit more, and that's why, at least to me, it is interesting. And I really love Generation 3. Emerald is one, in my opinion, one of the best Pokemon games ever made. And it's fun. I can transfer them up. Some of them, I mean, not specifically in Emerald now, but some shinies that I generate in Ruby even have pretty good IVs, and I can use them competitively later. Let's see if I hit the frame. Let's say normal Minun. I mean, I do have a free spot in my party. I could calibrate, I guess. Right, so I got a female Minun. I think Minun is 50-50 gender ratio. I don't believe it has any of the other. Okay, so it's Forsh. It's not shiny. It's a Minun. I think Forsh was sassy, but actually I better check, because sometimes these translations are not really intuitive, at least. Yeah, it is sassy. Okay, so didn't have to look it up. I was right the first time, but better to check. Oops, first. Okay, so select sassy. I have a female one. Okay, so the shiny that I want is around frame, what was it, 15,170, alright. So, that was a bit too much scrolling. It's level 13. There's a lot of Minuns that I could have gotten. I mean, I could check for the IVs, but both are ghost. That's why that would work, but let's just estimate that I hit this one, so that would have been 3 frames too early. Didn't really sleep that well the last couple of nights, that's why I may be a bit tired, but still planning to at least stream for a minimum of 3 hours. yeah, last week's edition wasn't as fruitful. Not that was what I wanted to say before. Not frugal, but fruitful. Frugal is the exact opposite, actually. At least conceptually speaking, refers to a low quantity, not a large quantity. My brain is still probably not at 100%. Getting enough sleep is very important, guys. But otherwise I'm doing fine. Hopefully I'll get some good sleep tonight. And last Friday I did the first edition of, for those of you who maybe didn't know this, was Phoebus Friday Fishing. But I didn't get any shiny Phoebus, unfortunately. I mean, that can happen. But because I didn't get it last Friday, that means I will stream this Friday again. So the day after tomorrow. Which I think there's actually a word in English use which is overmorrow, but it's so rare that I actually read the term overmorrow. Let me check. I think it's... Yeah, it is overmorrow. Yeah, it is. So I also remembered that correctly. I didn't need to check, but... I feel like I should, when you're live and you're talking about things, and you should at least check your sources. Don't want to say anything that's not true, even if it's something inconsequential like that. But still, if you form a good habit once, then it's a solid foundation, I would say. But yeah, I don't really... The word overmore is pretty rare. I read it in books. Sometimes I spot that word in books that are written in more, let's say, purplish prose. So that's where I see it. But it's not really used much in regular conversation, at least with the people that I talk to in English. But yeah, overmore or the day after tomorrow, that's because I didn't get a shiny Phoebus last time, I'll do that again. And the last 2 weekends I couldn't really stream. And this weekend it will resume as normal, as usual, like it was before. And I also think this is a good way to compensate a bit, getting back for the fact that I couldn't really stream the last couple of weekends. So to compensate, let's say, I'll try to stream more often during the week, should I not be able to stream during the weekend. I also uploaded a quick short to see how the views would spike, and yeah. Seems that short-term content gets rewarded more, at least that's what I believe. Okay, so that's a... Don't really feel like calibrating. Let's just try this like classic way. I'll change routes again, so that it won't get too boring. Do want a change of scenery. So on route 110, I got everything basically. There's still Poochyena that I could get, but I already have multiple shiny Poochyena. I don't need more. I welcome every additional shiny, but now it's getting ridiculous. I have so many double, triple, quadruple, whatever shinies that I need to put them on Pokemon Box, because the boxes on my Emerald save file are completely chock full. Very funny, imagine saying that to someone who is really looking for shinies and you say, well, I have hundreds of them. The Puzzle I got last week, so not gonna hunt that one again. At least, I mean, if I get it here by accident, of course, that's kind of the point of Wild Wednesday. That sometimes I mistakenly hit a frame that I wasn't meant to hit. And yeah, I will catch the shinies still. I just can't reset over shinies, even if I have like 10 shiny Whalmers, I just can't. Just feels so wrong. At least that's the strong muscle memory that has formed over 2 decades of playing Pokemon at this point. Shiny Electrike I also got last stream, last Wild Wednesday. Gulpin I already have. I wouldn't mind another one, but not looking for one. So the other ones are Oddish I already have. Wingull I already got on stream even. And like I said before, Puzzle. So should I get the mine in here, I will immediately change the route. I was thinking about going to a underwater route again. Because I still don't have a shiny Relicanth, and I don't have a shiny Chinchou is the English name, yeah. Don't have a shiny Chinchou yet. And I do want one, maybe even multiple, then one I can evolve and the other one I can, that one can stay as a Chinchou. That way you have two shinies of different species on the same evolutionary line, but not exactly doing what I'm a Blissey is currently doing. He is trying to get a living dex of every single shiny he can get in Emerald. But he's 100%ing Emerald, that's why. He uses RNG Manipulation to get every single Pokemon as a shiny, which is nice. I'm not trying to do that. I mean, I could maybe do that. I'm just trying to get as many shinies as I possibly can. If I knew this back then, wow. Yeah, but then again, it wouldn't have been possible because we didn't know enough about the games back then. Hey there, Arch. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Well, just you, my husband, and me currently, yeah. Let's see, hopefully this is it. And no, that's a Gulpin. Kinda creepy if you just think about it, that it's based on an organ. It's based on the stomach. But it's a cute little Pokemon. Oh dang. Just doing some random game in Roblox, trying to build a map for a D&D session. Oh, nice, you're playing D&D? So are you the dungeon master, or are you just playing a character in a group, or? I've played it before, not a big fan of the fantasy setting. I would much rather make up a completely new setting. But yeah, being a dungeon master is not that easy if you don't really have that much experience. I mean, I've been playing this D&D since I think the first time was 2017 maybe. So I didn't play it back when it came out. Oh, you are the dungeon master, nice. Speaking about dungeons, there's a show that I've been watching lately. And it just happened because my husband was watching it on Netflix and I caught some glimpses of it and it was just so nice looking and, you know, a comfort show. It's really, it has some action scenes, but still you can just binge watch a couple of episodes and it doesn't get old. It's dungeon meshy, or as it is called in English, delicious in dungeon, which is English if you really think about it. I mean, delicious in dungeon? Why didn't they just call it delicious dungeon? That makes sense, right? It's like the translation, or I mean mistranslation maybe, with Attack on Titan. The original name of Attack on Titan, the Japanese name, is Shingeki no Kyojin, which can mean multiple things. Shingeki can mean advancing or attacking, so it has a double meaning. And I mean, no is a possessive particle in Japanese, and Kyojin just means Titan, large person, giant. So it can mean advancing titans or attacking titans, but it can also mean attack titan. And not going too much into spoilers or anything, but that original title is very intelligently, I mean, I can see what they were trying to do, and that just gets lost with the English translation, because also Attack on Titan, that's not how you say it. So, just don't understand. Did they think, oh, we have to do that as well? I mean, that is that critique doesn't really matter. It's a great show. I really like it. But I still don't understand why they called it delicious in dungeon. Alex the Wizard cast a fireball rolling a 12 at Yana, setting her streaming setup on fire. Oh boy. Highest roll of one of my players is a 1d12. Attacking, so he's either dealing 1 or 12 damage. Oh, I've had critical failures, or a shiny that I didn't plan for, but here we go. Yeah, some things like these happened to me as well. Pretty funny. D&D, sometimes you get really freaking unlucky, and sometimes you have godly amounts of luck. Just got here. What are we doing? How long it's been? Hey there, Blades. Welcome back to the stream. How have you been? Till now, this is the first shiny that appeared. I'm currently looking for a shiny Minen, actually, not a shiny Electrike, or Fritzelblitz as it's called in German. Oh, you're paralyzed. Oh, that's great. Well, I will still catch it. But, yeah, we have yet another shiny Electrike. Right, what ball should I use? I used a... Oops. I think I already used a Great Ball. Did I use a Dive Ball already? I think so. Let's try a Netball. They rolled a Seduction on the Goblin. Okay. Rolled 60, 20, and if it's over 70, I pacify it. And they got 78. Oh. Don't remember what my, there was once that was actually the first campaign I played with friends, where I don't remember if was my husband, was he a dwarf or a halfling? And he just wanted to see how much chaos he can spread, and he just managed to, drink so much alcohol, I mean the character, right? So much alcohol that he couldn't help us with a very important fight later, and we had to carry him around, and it was funny, even though it wasn't really a great help for the team, but because it was such a funny circumstance, it actually made the play session interesting. Okay, oh, there we go. We only have that. Oh. Sorry for the bitter powder then, I guess, Rosina. Pokemon D&D, I think... I mean, there would be ways... it is still a RPG. There are ways to make that possible, I'd say. Oh, and the D&D stuff, I once played a big Pokemon once. There was a group called Team Jokers. Okay, what was Team Jokers about? Were they trolls? Short way to describe them is like this. They screw up royally that they always manage to turn it around into an epic finish. Okay, that's very interesting. So, very chaotic, and yet somehow they always achieve their goals. That does sound like fun. Haven't played it in a while though, mostly because, I mean, adult friends, you have so many friends that don't really have the time anymore because they have to work. And yeah, that's an unfortunate reality. Also, some don't really have the space available to host a game session. Planning to have my players visit a volcano and somehow kill a big dragon at level 4. Also, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon as a D&D campaign would be amazing. Yeah, I think that would actually work quite well, wouldn't it? Because you're already with Mystery Dungeon, in the dungeons you advance square by square, so I think you could easily translate the game logic into D&D. What I'm actually trying to do, should I be a game master, I want to do a campaign about the anime universe or franchise Puella Magi Madoka Magica, because there's also a way you could make a campaign like that work. That would be fun. More like the god of dice rolls hated them. So many natural ones and failed rolls. Oh yeah. I can imagine. Well, yeah, the show that I mentioned before, have you watched it? Have you heard of it? Of either Dungeon Meshi or Delicious in Dungeon? Weird name. I can recommend it. It's nice. I actually was kind of, how do I say it, not flabbergasted, not shocked, but I was pleasantly surprised that I would watch a show that's basically cooking monsters and having D&D elements. Really works. You know it, Sharla, yeah. And there's the dwarf who cooks, he's voiced by a YouTuber, ProZD. He also used to do Vines back when Vine was a thing. And now he's actually a voice actor, a fully fledged voice actor with a career and everything. So that's really nice because his voice is really nice. I mean, I'm glad that he became a voice actor. He has the voice for it, definitely. He's voicing Senshi, so that's I think he's a dwarf. He's a dwarf who has a very bushy beard, so much that you aren't really sure if that is his beard or if it's part of the armor somehow. It isn't, it's just his beard, but you also never really truly see him, at least not from the episodes that I've watched. I haven't read the manga, so the only media that I've consumed of it is the anime. So I don't know if they show his face in the manga. Can't say that. Gulpin, no thanks. Half an hour already. Didn't feel like that at all. It just keeps happening. Just when you stream, you just somehow time flies super fast. It's hard to describe. It feels almost unreal at some point. But I mean, I bet some of my viewers, if not all, know exactly how it feels when you play a game for hours and then suddenly you're shocked that either the sun is rising or setting and you've been gaming for multiple hours. Sometimes that happens. We all know it. If you have the time for it, sure, go for it. Apparently in the manga, Senshi's beard is supposed to be a mix of long beard and thick body hair. Okay, yeah, I see how that makes sense. So it's slightly disappointing that they only kept it a beard for the animation. Oh, so there's a difference in the manga. Okay, I didn't know that. Me when I first got Fallout New Vegas. Joke's on you, I was working on this for 8 hours straight once. Yeah, I did that once, but I do not recommend anyone doing the same. Once as a child, I played Sonic Adventure 2 for 11 hours. I would say straight, not exactly straight. I mean, I still had to eat something and use the restroom, right? But I did that, and I went to bed after midnight. Well, it was during the summer break, so I was allowed to stay awake for longer. But that I'm never gonna do that again because I slept terribly. I had a horrible headache and I actually, and I'm not joking, I hallucinated the sounds of the game. I've heard the chow, I've heard the item sounds, I've heard Sonic jumping, I've heard the beep 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 from the shooting stages. I've heard that, but it wasn't there. So that was actually a auditory hallucination, and that is actually pretty scary. I can't recommend it. And yeah, like I said before, the sleep was terrible. I felt like I was 90 years old after that night, so I'm not doing that again. I did do something like 8 hours with the old Pokemon games, and the same thing happened where where I hallucinated the Pokemon music from the Game Boy, and I've heard the sound effects and all, and I was like, oh boy, here we go again. Not nice. Cannot recommend. Don't do it. I can understand having to draw the thick bushy hair all over his body for every frame. Yeah, that has to be a lot of work. I mean, you know it, right? You are an animator, so Fallout New Vegas is one of the best RPGs. Yeah, you're playing it a lot, so I haven't played it, but through cultural osmosis, I understand the memes and all that. Right. Okay, let's see. Is this enough? No, that's a normal mine, so let's do it again. Oh, oh hey, it's me when I played Spec Ops The Line for the first time. Came out of that game a different person. I was tired and broken out. So yeah, that's exactly how I felt as well. Tired, broken, hallucinating. And I thought, no, okay, I was a child, so I didn't really know that much, right? But I always thought that like hallucination only happens when you take certain substances, or if you have very specific mental illnesses, like some schizophrenic illnesses or other such things. But no, hallucination can happen to anyone, basically. I mean, if you really want to be a nerd, you can go, well, actually, according to the newest science of just how neurons work and consciousness, just the fact that just consciousness itself, the sensory input, is a hallucination. And I would say, okay, fine, yes, nerd, you are correct. But I always thought hallucinations like these, layman's term of hallucination, I would say, that wouldn't happen to me, but no, it can actually happen. There's even a way to hallucinate. Vsauce has done a video about that years ago. I think that video now is over 10 years old at this point. Where, what is it? You listen to certain radio frequencies. So you have to put on headphones, and then you put ping pong balls on your eyes, but they have to be cut in half, and there's a very small hole that you need to drill or hit through. And that way if you do that for long enough, you start to hallucinate. Even though you didn't take any illicit substances, nothing psychoactive. I haven't tried it, but I have read the science about it, and I mean, it does work. It's not pseudoscience. It's you trick your brain into hallucinating, but I haven't had the time to buy 2 ping pong balls and cut them in half and do that. Maybe I'll do that once, just because and I say this, I really mean it, I am unfortunately, that word is perfect for that, unfortunately, morbidly curious. So I will do it at one point, but not sure if I'm gonna like it, because from what I read in studies and trials, some people really didn't like it at all. And I'm not a fan of hearing things that aren't there. Like with the low HP bar ringing that you hear in the old Pokemon games, or just sound effects of the Sonic Adventure 2 thing. No. You just try to fall asleep, and then suddenly you hear a certain sound from the game. And then you're like, huh, what was that? It's so weird. I mean, it's really hard to find words for this if you haven't experienced it. It's very strange. I'm not gonna do that again. Also because of the fact that it's not healthy to sit for that long, right? So, should I game for such a long time? Maybe I should be on a home trainer, or not a conveyor belt, but like a treadmill. At least I'm getting some movement out of then. But yeah, sitting for a long time is not good. Not good for your veins. Not good for your blood. Ah, there we go, finally. Shiny Minen. Okay, it's less teal than I had in memory, but still that faded teal actually looks interesting. I mean, it is better than the Puzzle Shiny, in my opinion. I'm sure you agree, because with the Puzzle one, you almost don't see the difference. Okay, you got a crit, but that doesn't matter at all. You always hear random sounds. I mean, doesn't mean that you're crazy if you hallucinate, right? Some things like I said before with the ping pong thing, some weird states can make you hallucinate. That is actually a thing. Okay, let's try the netball. But if they persist and they cause you mental pain, I would check out a specialist for that. Great, got that one finally. Right, first thing is resave. Just to be absolutely sure. And I think, yeah, we can, I can select surf and then we can go to a underwater route. Yeah, let's do that. Actually, I don't even need to change the frame because on the exact same frame, I can get a shiny Chinchou. That is very practical. Route 126. I just have to remind myself. Oh yeah, it's there. Okay. Hang on. Does Route 124 give me the same frames? It should. Yes, it does. Okay, so let's go there instead. Okay, Bjork, we're gonna build a mast for my friend's boat. Have fun with that, and see you soon. Okay, let's heal my party first. Right, so till now, things are going pretty good. Okay, you there. Oh yeah, okay, that's one from the last time, yeah. Okay, so you went here, you are. So many that I have to put on other games. This Emerald cartridge is just chock full of a bit too many. Need to put some on. Need to put some Pokemon on other games. I mean, I have multiple, so I can. Okay. I keep forgetting which one it is, which one of these pools has the, I don't really go diving a lot in these games. It is fun. You have to do it if you want to get the Reggies. And if you want to progress in the story, obviously. So, yeah, that was the correct one. I'm kind of underselling myself today, aren't I? I keep saying something that's correct, and then I doubt myself, and then I check it, and it was the correct thing all along. Right. Won't get a shiny now, but it's a Chinchou, and then let's go. Exactly the same frame even, so it should be level 22 and it should be female like all of them are. There's very few spots in Emerald where you can find underwater Pokemon. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just routes 124 and 126 if I'm not mistaken. At least when I go into the program and you have to put the encounter type to surfing, and then you have to go to underwater, and there's only 2 routes, even though I'm jokingly saying this Mandela effect. I have other routes in memory, but maybe they don't generate wild Pokemon. I think that's it. I legit only remember this spot and around Sutopolis. The place where you get the 8 gym bag. Yeah, I think you are right, Shala Blades. I think those are the 2 are the only ones that generate wild Pokemon. I think the other routes are not I mean, they're just small underwater caves, or they don't have what's supposed to be algae, I think, where you find wild Pokemon. I think it's just these two routes. I mean, otherwise the Pokéfinder program would have given me more underwater options, but I think these two routes might be it. So should be done with this quite easily if I'm not a dummy today, and if should I hit the should I get the timing correctly, then hopefully we'll get the Chimchu and the Relicanth. Maybe another Clam Pearl. That was what happened last time. Your friend's brother was stuck downstairs. But he's not stuck anymore. Or is he? Was downstairs in the boat that you were trying to build? Hey there, Ahmed. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Don't think I've seen you around here, but yeah, welcome. This is RNG Manipulation, and we hunt Shinies here. So not the standard methods that you usually see with trying to get as many encounters as possible and hoping for the best. That's not what we're doing here. This isn't really luck based, so it's not really what are the odds. It's just, can I consistently get 2 frame perfect inputs? And if I do, I get a shiny. Ahmed, a name I remember from somewhere else, but you people, yeah. Ahmed is just a very common name in Muslim countries. I know multiple Ahmeds. I know another one today. I know a couple Ahmeds as well. That's a different spelling. So we got 2 people in the chat whose names start with A. Interesting. I would actually not mind multiple Chimchus at all. At least a minimum of 2. Then I can have a lantern as well. Okay. Pretty good HP IVs as well. It's 22, that's actually not bad. My name doesn't start with an A, it's J Jackson. Yeah, sorry, I meant your username. I mean, my name doesn't also start with an I, right? But that's my civilian name, is not my YouTube name. Saw you on Discord under the name Jack, but I suppose Jackson is the complete name. Shiny Chinchu is... I mean, I've seen the sprite. It's kind of more greenish. Not really a one of the best shinies, but Lantern becomes purple pinkish and really like that. New to Pokemon World, I've been playing Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. I've beaten both so far. These good for someone who started 4 weeks ago. Oh, okay. So you start with Generation 3. That's interesting. Hope you've been enjoying the games. If you have the games and the battery has run dry, or if you have Emerald, the battery doesn't really matter with that game. You can do the same thing that I'm doing here. Yeah, new person altogether, but that's nice. Some people, at least that is what the YouTube studio thing is telling me, that some find my streams through because they look up things about Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire and Emerald. So they happen to find my streams, which is, at least from my perspective, pretty good. Hopefully they can learn a thing or two, or maybe not learn a thing, but be entertained. That's the least I hope they will be. Until now it's going, yeah, it's going better than last week. I think last week I streamed for 4 hours and it was only 2 shinies, and well, we already got 2 shinies now. It's not even 1 hour that I've been streaming, so that's good. Hopefully on Friday I'll get the fevers. Fun fact, I don't even know some Pokemon things, like I don't know what shiny Pokemon are. I know they look different, but that's all. Shiny Pokemon are, and I'm honored to be the person that teaches you that. Shiny Pokemon are very rare. They are like you said before, they have a different color. And they're called shinies because they sparkle. They aren't better, they aren't stronger than normal Pokemon, or like non-shiny Pokemon, but because they are so rare, so many gamers are looking for them. Yeah, like Arch said, he was faster than me now. I wanted to say the odds. In these games, they are 1 in 8,192. But that got changed later in the newest games to 1 in 4,096, which is still very rare. But what I'm doing here is circumventing odds. I know I know some hidden values in my game, and because of that, I can use a program without cheating, no action replay or anything. So I know I can program a timer, and the timer will tell me when a shiny will appear, which is very neat. Thank you for the fact. Oh, you're welcome. I've been playing Pokemon since 1998. Actually, I've grown up with it. Of course, the very first game that I had was Pokemon Blue. I didn't really know what I was doing because I was 4 years old when the game came out. I mean, I could read when I was 4, but still, I was a small child, and it was if I watch myself how I would have played, it's like typical kid stuff. You go around, you explore, you wonder what is beyond a grass that there's a patch of grass in the very first town that you start in the very first games, and they are blocked by some kind of, I don't know, some like cylinders that block. You can't go there, and everyone was thinking, what is in that grass? Turns out there's nothing programmed in that grass. So, well, because kids are just like that, they wonder what is there, what is beyond that. Yeah, I've been playing the game since forever, basically. Grew up during the height of Generation 3, so many Jirachi rumors. Oh yeah, we also had so many rumors. The missing no glitch thing didn't help, that because that sounded like a rumor, but it was true. And then all the Pokegod rumors and other things. All on VBA version 1.304. Save files didn't work. Oh, so the save files didn't work. Oh, that's unfortunate, because if you can't save with Pokemon games, they become kind of unplayable. Spawn closer to Generations 4 release. Yeah, I mean, I'm also, even though I should mention this. even though I grew up with Generation 1 is by far not the best generation. I'm not a Gen 1er as they're called. They were flawed games. They had some, especially programming, that was some spaghetti code for sure. I can tell you that. I've been going through the code myself, and they made some really rookie mistakes. I mean, hindsight is 2020, of course, but I'm not saying Generation 1 is the best. Not like that. We suggest the idea that make Pokemon grow to other level, an official Pokemon game that makes you play against other players around the world. Because I know there's MMO, but it's not official. Yeah, there's never been a MMO type game in Pokemon. But Ahmed, you're not the first one who wants a Pokemon game like this. The closest I've seen is, I think, Legends of Arceus. At least with the roam around and you have a big open world aspect. They did that much better than the in Pokemon Sword and Shield. I mean, there's Pal World, but that's not Pokemon, right? And also it's not exactly the same. There's still a weapon system which you don't have in the original Pokemon games. Love Gen 4? Yeah, I like Gen 4 as well. Love Giratina? Giratina's really cool, yeah. Especially the shiny. And I'm gonna RNG manipulate that one once I get to Generation 4. I will definitely do that because that shiny is just worth it. Generation 1 and 2 are borked in so many ways, especially Gen 1. Yeah, Gen 1 is... The code is held together by duct tape and a child's wish. They did some really... I wouldn't say major mistakes, but mistakes that no, that's maybe too mean when I say a semester 1 computer science student would do, but they have fail checks where they compare X, like you have a number and that's compared, and they forget to put it as not. They put it as bigger than that value instead of bigger or equal to, and that messes up some attacks. And also because some attacks have achieved the exact opposite, like what's that attack called again, where you pump yourself? It says, it displays the text the Pokemon has pumps itself up, and then your critical rate is drastically it should go up, but actually cuts it in half, or not in half, but it's actually a quarter of it now, which makes it one of the worst moves in the game. Even worse than Splash. At least Splash doesn't make your stats worse. Bishan? Are you referring to what it screams out? Shiny colors are my favorite legendary shiny. Besides Arceus, but Arceus is mythical. Yeah, shiny Arceus is golden. I mean, golden god. Start with Generation 3 because I think Generation 3 and 4 are the best. Yeah, Generation 3 are my favorites still. Still after all of these years. They have a special place in my heart. I was literally playing Pokemon like a stream ago. Got the shiny Giratina first. Oh, so that's a competition now? I mean, yeah, you will probably get it first because, I mean, I have everything ready to do that except one thing. And that is a capture card. I need a capture card for the 3DS. So there's a 3DS that I have that I plan on sending in, so to get it modified so that I can basically do what I'm doing right now. what I'm doing with my GameCube here, that I can record footage of my 3DS, but that costs €300, so have to get that first. New to Pokemon, used to name my Pokemons by dumb names like Kyogre, Big Smoke, or Groudon, Diplord, or Driplord, Treecko, Luke, Skywalker, or Machoke, Rocky Balboa. Okay, that is pretty funny though, the Rocky Balboa. I think I named a Hitmonchan that. I mean, yeah, not really creative, but pretty funny. To be fair, it's all done in ARM, unreliable computers. Yeah, that as well. And that was their first time programming an RPG, and it shows. Big Smoke the Kyogre, yeah. I kind of like funny names. Sometimes, you know, I have not only with Pokemon Box, with Pokemon Home as well. I try to get every single Pokemon in existence, so I have the full Pokédex in every game. And I got so many Pokemon with very strange or funny nicknames like these over Wonder Trade, and I put them on there and I keep them because they make me laugh. Worst one I think I've gotten was a Riolu, which someone called Deek Pics. Like, spelled D-I-K. Why would you do that? Why would you name it that? Or a classic that many people got, a shiny or a Litten. Sometimes it was shiny, sometimes not. A Litten level 100, so couldn't evolve anymore. Named, what was it, Boy Cat or something. So someone went through the effort of mass cloning a level. I mean, first things first, level up a Litten to level 100. That takes some time, and then, okay, you call it Boy Cat for some reason, and then you mass clone it, so you can send it off to Wonder Trade. Someone has done this on this planet. Why? But I will never forget about Boy Cat, because that's just, who calls this Litten Boy Cat? Deek the Animation Company. That was D-I-K, not D-I-C, but yeah. I know that banner. Deek, yeah. Got a Rosalia called Ox HDFHSIF. What? So just gibberish? Do these characters all fit though? I know that they lengthened the nickname, the character limit at some point in the games. Some generations have a longer character limit. Some gibberish like that. Yeah, you just wonder why. Your accent is like German plus Dutch and British, not surprised you're from Luxembourg. Close to all three. Yeah. Yeah, I'm from Luxembourg, so my accent is actually Luxembourgish, but I can see why you'd say it's German or Dutch. Or Xenia is called Bring Live or Bring Live. I mean that makes sense. I've seen one, but that wasn't mine. That was on a Reddit post. A picture that she called her Xenia's, what was it again, Bambi? That made me laugh as well. Was the character limit all gibberish? Have you gotten the over Wonder Trade? Have you yet gotten the some shiny Ambipom, or what was it, with like a tiny URL link as a nickname? Because I've gotten, I think, one of them, and they link to some furry's blog. Wasn't anything explicit, but yeah. I also know of multiple people receiving that exact same Pokemon. Also level 100, so you couldn't evolve it. But, I mean, hey, it's a shiny, right? But people were somewhat disappointed that you couldn't change the nickname, which isn't the case anymore. I think starting from, what was it again? Sword and Shield. You can actually change nicknames when the of the Pokemon, even if it's not your Pokemon. I've gotten those before, not an Ambipom. I think it was an Ambipom, or was it? No, it was not Ambipom. It was Apom. Sorry, got them mixed up. They have different names in different languages. Sometimes I remember other languages' names first. Seems like something I do. Yeah, or I think Shiny Rayquaza would also do something like this. I do see that it's funny. That didn't register. Let's do that again. Always release them. I mean, I've kept mine, but my sense of humor has been ruined, so I just see a Pom with a tiny URL nickname and I laugh and I chuckle. Though sometimes I don't need a lot to laugh. Except do it with a level 100 Rotini, clone shiny level 100 Rotini with Dragon Dance, Dragon Rush, Wrap and Aqua Tail with a link to my Insta. Has Game Freak not done a thing against URL nicknames? I forgot. But yeah, that is a way to advertise yourself. If you mass clone a good Pokemon or a rare, like a legendary shiny, and you give it a name like this in the newer gens, they should be able to change the name. So maybe they'll check out your website once at least, maybe. So it's a win-win. Hey there, human name. Welcome back to the stream. How are you doing? May RNG bless thee. He has blessed me so far with a couple of shinies. Yeah, got the shiny Minun finally. Surprised how everyone agrees that Cynthia is the best champion. I love Cynthia, but I love Wallace and Steven Stones more. Oh, you're not the only one. Actually, I prefer Wallace and Steven Stone. Oh, I prefer them over Cynthia. I always thought Cynthia wasn't as hard as everyone claimed to be. That she was, but to be fair, I had a lot of Ice Beam users in my team, so her Garchomp and her Togekiss and others got owned by that, so maybe that is why I didn't perceive the battle against Cynthia to be such a hard battle. Maybe because they are hot. Yeah, that does play a factor. I know that this is dumb, but I think they are hot. No, that's not dumb. You're not the only one in thinking that fictional characters are attractive, and it's not insane to find a fictional character attractive. Clone shiny, even legendaries. I was thinking about doing that, but I don't know how to clone on the newest games. I think I have to hack for that, and Nintendo's been very strict about hacking. At least I always try doing things without hacking. But there was a thing where I thought maybe I should mass clone like shiny Delibirds and Wonder Trade them away for Christmas. Things like that. I'm good. How about you? Yeah, I'm actually, have to say, this year so far has been a pretty good year. Much happier than usual. Even though, I mean, still looking for a job and such, but still very thankful that I mean, I was born in Luxembourg with a family that cares about me, and that's so much more than many people on this planet have. So I know that that is a big privilege, and I'm glad for everything good that I have in life. I think I got a shiny Entei with a tiny CC link. I didn't get it, but I saw a Facebook post, like at least a Facebook in a Pokemon Facebook group. I saw a Entei with a link like that. So I guess that was the same one. Steven could literally throw a stone at me and I wouldn't budge. It's not Steven Universe this time. When I saw them in the anime, I was like, I need Wallace and Steven to lie to me so hard. Yeah, Wallace, I mean, he's like a lady killer, isn't he? A ladies' man. And Steven Stone is a very popular character in the Pokemon franchise. I'm a weirdo in the fact that I just, I didn't really care, or I don't really care about a lot of humans in the Pokemon franchise. I'm like that in real life. I just think that, or I find creatures or animals much easier to befriend than humans. But there are some humans that I really like, but usually I care more about the Pokemon. I had a non-clone shiny Arceus from a Wonder Train to a legit player. Ooh. Not gonna lie, he probably used hacks to get it without Azure Flute. Yeah, but sometimes, and that this might sound controversial, but sometimes in cases like these with the Azure Flute not being available originally in the Diamond, Pearl and Platinum games, I'm okay with people hacking that in because they want to have an Arceus. Can you really blame them? You can't really use that in, or at least not if you played in that tier for competitive anyway, and it doesn't give you an unfair advantage. Traded to my friend who wanted a shiny Arceus on my Y save. Oh, that's nice. Pokemon always interest me more. Yeah, same, Charlotte, same. Way more than very simple human characters. Well, some human characters are kind of not over-designed, but they have a very busy design, which is fine and all, but I keep seeing fan art of like human characters, and my brain goes, I want to see fan art of the Pokemon more. I'm also the kind of person, if you invite me to a party and there's a pet, you bet that I'm going to the pet and I'm spending time with the cat or the dog more than with humans. Not that I'm not a grumpy person who's like, don't leave me alone, I don't want any human contact. But I'm not extroverted, I'm actually pretty much introverted. And I usually don't approach people automatically. They tend to approach me. Some people take this the wrong way and they think that I don't want to do anything with others. That's not true. It's just the way I am. Funny how I love the name Wallace, because not just Wallace from Pokemon, who is cool and hot, but also Wallace from Scott Pilgrim is someone I love so much. Don't know much about Scott Pilgrim, so can't say a lot about that, but now you've piqued my interest and I have to Google that. Scott Pilgrim. Oh, I've seen that character before, so that's his name. Pokémon. Me at the social gatherings, yeah, I know. I'm just like that. But some people have confused that with me. They thought I was arrogant or that I was signaling, oh, I'm superior, which is not the case. I just find animals to be much easier to befriend. And they just come to me automatically. I don't know. I seem to be an animal magnet of some sort. At least that's what my husband always says. I'm a mom. And other people who know me or have known me for a long time. Cats always come close to me. Like neighbors' cats that I don't even own. They just come to my apartment, or when I'm with my parents, come to our house. Just like that. They picked me, I didn't pick them. Wallace is a calm guy who's also gay. Well, that's good, seeing more gay representation and in media. And I'm saying this as a heterosexual woman. I always say live and let live. Gays have never hurt me before. They don't make me less of a human, so I really don't understand what the problem is. And I'm actually for more diverse representation. And that's coming from a cis, heterosexual white woman, like a pretty overrepresented archetype, let's say, in media. And yet I don't want to just see white people, or just don't want to see heterosexual people all the time, because life is more diverse, and you gay guys also deserve representation that you like. Feel like I'm gay? You feel like, I mean, that's a thing you have to figure out for yourself. When I think about what I get with a woman that really doesn't do anything for me, and I'm not disgusted by it, but it's just not interested in that. And I've only fallen in love with men, so yeah. That's the thing you have to figure out. And I know people who only figured out that they were gay in their 40s or 50s. Don't hate animals, but I think responsibility is something I don't. I'm capable of taking care of myself, but not too. Honestly, that's Ahmed, you're being more genuine here than many people, because at least you say, okay, I'm not capable of raising one, so I don't get one, and that's super responsible. So you shouldn't feel bad about that, Ahmed. That is what people should say. They should take a look at themselves, maybe see, am I able to take care of either a pet or a child? And if you say no and you're not doing it, then that's super responsible, and I wish more people were like that, honestly. Especially also with children. There's way too many people who have children and they have absolutely no idea what they're doing. And it just pains me, because an innocent child has to suffer. And there's nothing I can do about it. My girlfriend's trans, and since she hasn't had surgery, she says she's a femboy. So technically gay. I mean, if you really want to be, again, an actually nerd, if you look at the Kinsey Institute studies, it seems like the majority of human beings are actually some kind of bisexual. But they haven't realized it. So maybe it's that. Doesn't matter, I mean, if you love each other, that's all that counts. And it's all consensual. Hopefully this is the... Come on, I hit the frame before, I should hit it again. No? Okay, let's try this one. It also gives me a Chinchu, but it's slightly earlier. More bi than gay. That's easy then, right? I mean, all the bi people who I know, they have a really easy time. I mean, when you get more choice than everyone else. Social gathering is another name for communist meeting. Yeah, I'm having communist meeting with crows and cats and dogs. And you guys bet I'm coming with a new revolution. What are they going to do when I come with an army of thousands of crow bros? Live with 2 cats and dogs, they love me a lot. Aw, cute. But I know that if I ever had a kid, I would kill them. I mean, I guess you'd say not directly, but by mistake. So keep being a pet, yeah. Kids are, I mean, already having a very intelligent pet, like a parrot or some dogs, that's already a lot of work. And then a kid that becomes a human, that's your job, raising that kid to become a responsible adult. And that is, every child deserves parents, but not every parent deserves a child, if that makes sense. Raising a kid, not everyone is made out for that. And it's actually completely okay going childless. I mean, I've talked to so many women who were confiding to me that they were anxious because time is running out. Oh no, I'm approaching my mid-40s. I didn't have a child yet. But then I asked, okay, do you really want one? They said no. And I said, you shouldn't let society pressure you into having children if you don't want them, because it's better regretting not having had children than regretting having a child. That is absolutely for sure. And a person who wasn't born, who was never born, cannot be in pain. So there's that as well. And I mean, with how things are going right now with the economy, it's also a cheaper option. You can get cacti if you're not able to take care of animals, or a pet rock if you're really bad. Yeah, the pet rock guy who invented, let's say, I mean, invented is a bit of a stretch. He just put a rock in a box, and he said, yeah, it's a pet rock. He made millions off of that. Insane. Yeah, I have a cactus from 2021, and I thought, geez, I'm gonna kill that thing by accident, but no, still going strong. Don't want to act like animals are toys, but acting like they are toys who are expendable and worthless makes me feel disgust. Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean, Ahmed, and that is disgusting, right? They have feelings and emotions, and they feel pain as well. I mean, they have a consciousness as well, which I would say is the soul. I mean, I don't believe in souls per se, but if you call a consciousness a soul, I would say, okay, that's fair. And just the thought of how many pets there are who are being mistreated, that just breaks my heart. Don't like children? Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I can see that. Children can be way too stressful sometimes. I mean, I do want children. I want to have the experience of being a mom once in my life, but I still need to get more, I mean, have a higher salary and a more secure financial position. Fun fact, donkeys and monkeys very, very smart. Yeah, donkeys are intelligent, and monkeys, especially apes, are really intelligent. Chimps and bonobos, they are one among the most intelligent animals on the planet. as well as crows. I can say that from experience because I've been feeding crows for over a year now, and they recognize me everywhere that I go. Even in like I drove an hour into France once from Luxembourg, and they still recognized me because they talk and they can convey complex information like that. And it's amazing how intelligent they are. Also orcas, dolphins, octopi. There's quite a lot of animals that are really intelligent. Rather spend my time with my wife, husband, than have to deal with a child. Yeah. I know couples who had that decision. They decided to not have children and instead focus on traveling or just the relationship, and they're very, very happy people. Children race and its consequences. Chimps, balloons, tower defense references. Do they have chimps? Not vegetarian, but as I say, I don't want animals to get mistreated. Yeah. Yeah, I have stopped buying certain meats because they don't, I don't agree with how these animals have been raised. So when I go grocery shopping, either my husband or me, when we go grocery shopping, we don't buy meat from Germany anymore. I buy it from Luxembourg because Luxembourg has stricter laws regarding animal welfare. And I don't want the chickens that I buy, I don't want them to be in cramped up spaces. I want at least if they have to die for meat consumption, they should have a good life. And I'm absolutely ready to pay more for that, because that is definitely worth it. Also, there's a Luxembourg, like in Luxembourg, you have many farmers who really raise their animals in much better conditions, and I'm happy to buy from them. That seems to be the better option. It's difficult, it's hard. Oh yeah. Chimps are strong, that's true. So I can see why they named the difficulty that. Yeah, I don't know how it is in the countries that you guys are from, but in Luxembourg you have a number printed on the eggs, and if it's the number 3, then that means they are in very small cages. And I really don't want that. I never buy these eggs. The eggs that I buy, I only buy eggs that have a 0 stamped on them. That means that the chickens have had free range. Same goes for the meat. Can anyone guess my country? It starts with I and ends with Q. Iraq. Greetings then, through Iraq. That's a relicanth, but not shiny, so nah. How's the weather in Iraq at the moment? I bet it's better than it is in Luxembourg. I mean, can't really complain now. We have had some sunny days now. You're good at geography. Faroe Islands Q. I mean, I'm very curious, and I like to just read random things about cultures or countries that I haven't been to. And I mean, I know I have a friend and a neighbor who is not from Iraq, but he's from Iran. And he showed me the cuisine that they have. It's so freaking good. He also showed me a bit of the culture, and that's interesting, right? Because when are you going to hear that from a actual guy from Iran? And it's nice to see that at least in Iran, how friendly they are and welcoming towards guests. And I find it interesting how they use the when they cook rice, they let it become like hard and cook they let the rice become a state that usually in the West they would say no, that's a bit baked on, I don't want that, but they use that and they put sauces in it and that they make something out of that, and that was really good. But that guy is so good at cooking. In Luxembourgish, Iraq would have been written with a K in the end. But so you also, sorry if this is a stupid question. Do you speak Arabic or do you speak Persian? Because I know some who don't speak Arabic, they speak Persian, which is slightly different. Iran is a historical enemy of Iraq. Yeah, I don't see the world as enemies. I don't see, like, I don't think in enemy terms, but I do understand they are enemies. But the guy I know, he's very liberal with that. He wouldn't consider you an enemy at all. Oh yeah, Arabic. I've heard it's very tough to learn. That's nice seeing having some viewers from different countries. Makes it a bit more interesting here. Always like that, the unique experiences. For example, also with Human Name being from the Faroese Islands, which also I mean, he's the first one that I know from there. I've spoken to Icelandic people who went there, but that's about it. I mean, I've known of the existence of the Faroese Islands, but it's actually much more interesting talking to a person who is from there than just blindly reading facts. Is nice, okay, but you sometimes get facts from these people that you wouldn't find online. Only enemies I know is Southern Islanders. The real enemies are the politicians and these. Here I go again, trying to start a revolution. Don't get me started on Denmark. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because I'm from Luxembourg, which was founded with the idea of it being a neutral state, just like Switzerland once was and still is considered to be. Did fun fact, I learned English about 70% of Spanish, and it was easier than learning Arabic as Arab. Yeah. Oh, so you speak 3 languages. That's nice. Also, I'm thinking of learning Spanish at one point, but currently trying to brush up my Italian. And I also need to brush up my Japanese, although I think it would be more wise to learn Italian and Dutch first, so that I get even more trained in multiple languages. Japanese was pretty hard to learn. The grammar is actually very easy, funnily enough. It's not that's hard. It's having to learn so many completely new names. Usually when I learn when I learn Italian, because I know French, I can already guess what some words mean just because I know the root of that word, and they share root with the French language because they're from the Roman language tree. But you can't really do that with Japanese. There are some words like aircon and toire, so air conditioner and toilet, that you can guess, but others not so much. And with others I mean most. And you have to learn all the kanjis, you need to memorize them, and that's like thousands of individual characters that you need to memorize. That is really hard. And for some freaking reason they have thousands of ways to count things. That is really freaking hard, but yeah, funny how languages work. I learn Ninorn. That is the first. Love it when I learn new things. North Germanic language was spoken. Oh, okay. That is a extinct language though, right? Love learning new things from the chat. In Spanish and Italian, the presentate, I mean the host. I mean, yeah. If you already know as well, that's why I want to learn Dutch, because I know Luxembourgish and I know German. These two languages are Germanic languages, so with Dutch I can already guess. I mean, I can read Dutch and understand up to 75% what they're saying. Sometimes I understand everything, because the words are just so similar. Ah, it's a revival of the language, okay. Interesting. That's why I haven't heard of it before. Would that be hard for you then, human name, or would it be easy? Because they do share at least some similarities with the language you speak, I think. Right, 5 seconds. Hopefully this is it. Let's see if the timing is correct this time. Hopefully it is. Do we have? No, that's a normal chinchou. I can tell by that, just like that. Reason I want to learn Ninon is because the death of Norn causes the preservation project of fairies. Yeah. I mean, I know people who are fluent in Latin. That's a dead language. But if you know Latin, then learning a lot of other languages will be easy, and also knowing so many terms in science are they use Latin words, either Latin or Greek. Also in medicine, in science, in astronomy, in mathematics. Doesn't maybe help you too much, but learning a new language is also good for your brain. It's health. It's like training for your brain. I always recommend doing that. Gonna head out. Hope to be back soon. Alright, see ya, Charlotte Blades. I see though why you would want to learn a dead language, because not saying I mean I googled it quickly and I saw isn't that dead language, but wasn't meaning the wasn't I didn't mean to say that is useless, because it isn't. People still learn Latin. Atlantic people would just come and chill in the Faroese Islands because of how mutually intelligible they were. That's, yeah. You have that sometimes with Brazilians going to Portugal. They both speak Portuguese, even though Brazilian Portuguese is slightly different, but just slightly. But they would be able to understand each other pretty well. Same with European Spanish-speaking people and Mexicans. Working on scientist fantasy fictional story. It's funny how some characters I've made them since I was 7 years old. I know exactly what you mean, Amit. I also, since early childhood, loved to invent stories like that, and some fictional characters that I also made, I made when I was a child, and I know how that feels. It's great. Glad to see more people are doing it. Oh, artist and writer, that's really nice. Do you have a blog, a art blog, a website, anything where I can check your art out? I mean, if you have a Discord, I can put a link in the chat. That link will be good for, I think, what was it? A couple of hours, either that or a couple of days. Also have places named the same here as in Hetland. We have that as well. I mean, sometimes when I'm in the Netherlands and I say I'm from Luxembourg, they think that I'm from the Luxembourg region in Belgium, but that isn't Luxembourg, the country. I mean the country, not the that region. So sometimes I need to specify that, and yeah, sometimes that gets weird. An example is Lervik and Lervik. Almost spelled the same. How funny. You can cook as well, that's very good. Oh, you have that? Well, feel free to post a link here. I'm okay with people promoting their stuff as long as they're not spamming. That's not a... is not a shiny. Let's do it again. Should I stay on the road still? I mean, been I think an hour now that I've been on this road. We can change it if you guys prefer me to do that. No problem. They mean the same thing. Yeah, just like the Belgian Luxembourg and Luxembourg the country, but they're not the same thing. Well, some people don't know that. Oh, why are people texting me or trying to call me always when I stream, and when I'm not busy? Nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. That's just interesting how that always seems to happen. I'm a better baker than a chef. I prefer baking as well, because with baking you have to be very precise with your measurements. And I prefer that over the more open style that you can have with cooking. But I can see why people prefer to cook, because they like the freedom that it entails. But I prefer cooking. No, not cooking. I prefer baking because if I can replicate it like that precisely, then I'm happy. The Atlantic dialect also has words that are basically the same in Faroese. Oh yeah, like in Dutch they also say kletteren for climbing, which is also the same in German and kletteren, and exactly the same in Luxembourgish kletteren. There are many words like these that are exactly the same and almost the same in the pronunciations. sometimes Dutch comes closer to Luxembourgish. Some people like they joke and they say that Dutch no, Luxembourgish sounds like a Dutch person who's drunk. That's pretty funny when they say that. It's somewhat true. And there's no really incentive to learn Luxembourgish if you're not in the country. And there's not even 1 million people worldwide that speak it. Atlantic dialect of English, I mean. Ah, okay. See, then I learned something new again. Really like that. Keep the random facts coming. I shouldn't be the only one info dumping random things. Alright. The Discord is here. That's the link. Still not really that active on it. And it's still a bit bare bones, but I mean the community here is still growing. Still a small channel. Bigger fan of opening my mind to anything you could bring, any topic. Still may know 1 or 2 things about that. That is very good. Having a good base education and a open mind. It's good things to have. I think everyone should be like this, but unfortunately it's not the case. I'm sometimes a bit too curious. Sometimes I know facts that I wish I didn't read up on, but no, my brain had to know what that is, and now can't unlearn it. Come on, Chinchu. I know you can. Hopefully we'll get one to stream. If we get the Chinchu and the Relicants, then we'll be done with this route. And I'll mention it again. I have a couple more viewers now. This Friday I will do the another stream. Phoebus fishing. And on Saturday and Sunday I'll do the Safari Zone. Which is different from catching Pokemon like I'm doing it now, because in the Safari Zone you can't weaken the Pokemon. You can only come closer to the Pokemon, which makes it easier to catch, but at the same time the chances of it fleeing become higher. I mean, it's a bit of a gamble. And you can also, you have the choice of feeding the Pokemon Pokeblocks, which is something I can take advantage of, since I am RNG manipulating, so I know that the Pokemon, the Shinies that I hunt, will be adamant. And I know that adamant Pokemon, they like red Pokeblocks, so I made a couple of those in advance on this save file, and hopefully that will help. I'll start with Area 1. The Pokemon that you can get are already showcased on the thumbnail. So, yeah, that's what's upcoming now. I have an open mind to most things. An exception is the shift from using genitive case to using hia in Faroese, which sounds effing horrible. Is that necessary? Is that like a how do I say? Is it a slang thing, or is it more casual thing to say hia? Or is it not that? It's just you refuse to use it because it sounds stupid. I still remember the thing you told me, human name, with the that you the depending on the grammar, some names are written differently. That's just so interesting. Join Discord, welcome aboard. Like I said before, it's still a bit bare bones. I still need to put some channels on, some rules. I sadly don't... I mean, I don't have a lot of... I never use Discord for its intended purpose. I used it to have study groups back when I still was at university, because it was really good to use that. But don't really have that much experience with Discord. Still need to clean up some things on there. So to just people who don't know conjugations. Oh, so it's like saying irregardless, which is not correct, but people still say it. Is it like that? That's probably how I sound when I refuse to, or not refuse, but I haven't memorized all these counting rules in Japanese, so I just say hitotsu, futatsu, and so on. The tsu one can be used in general, and they give you a pass if you're a foreigner and saying that. But yeah, I don't plan on doing that forever. I always get triggered when I read could off instead of could have. And I mean, I know some people who came to Luxembourg pretty late, and they still make some mistakes when they speak, but I honestly don't care, because I understand what they're trying to say, and that's the most important aspect in communication. Because Luxembourgish can be very tricky when you have gendered. I mean, it's like with German and French. Nouns have genders. So you need to memorize that milk, which would be Möllisch in Luxembourgish. Milk is Möllisch, it is Engmöllisch, so not Unmöllisch, which would be, that would be male. But you say Engmöllisch, which means it's female. But, I mean, milk, there's nothing female inherently about it, but you need to memorize that. It's just like that in French. And sometimes it can be really confusing because a word can be female or feminine in one language and then male in another language. A example would be the sun. In Luxembourgish, it's female. It's ein Sonn. That's a sun. Then in French, it's le soleil. Le is male. Would have been, if it's female, it would be la soleil, but it's not la soleil, it's le soleil. And in German, it's feminine again. It's die Sonne. If it would be male, it would have been der Sonne, which feels really wrong as I speak it out loud. That can be very tricky to learn. Especially if you're an English native and that is your first language, it has to be so weird learning about the fact that words have genders. And you need to memorize that. Problem of being Iraqi is that most people are close-minded, and when someone tries to be open-minded, look at him as if he's trying to show off. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I was thinking that you said you were gay, and hopefully that is... I know that isn't really that well accepted in your country, unfortunately, but I hope you're safe. And... I mean, I won't, tell anyone or dox you or anything. I just hope you're safe with that, because I do know that some things, it's dangerous being LGBTQ in some countries. Even, I mean, in some Western countries who claim that they're so progressive, but... I mean, I have a gay cousin, and he still has the BS he has to deal with. Unreal. Ah, you're not gay. I'm sorry. I'm not gay, just okay with being gay. Oh, yeah. That's good. Just like me then. I'm not gay either, but I really don't care what people are. Doesn't hurt me. French can't be trusted with gender. The French can't be trusted with anything. Oh boy, the French are gonna hate me when they listen to that. I'm just joking, of course. We like to poke fun at each other sometimes, some European countries, and I mean, you know the jokes sometimes people do, usually it's blonde jokes that imply that they're stupid. We have that with Belgium, like people from Belgium, but they should change that with people from Luxembourg. We're pretty... Sorry to say, but in my experience, it's anecdotal evidence, so no scientific fact. But Luxembourgish people seem to be dumber than the average French or German person. Gender word should be implemented in English again. English is a effing ugly language. Should it be? I mean, I get it that gender gives a certain aesthetic to a language. I agree that can be nice, but that would make English harder, and don't think you can change it abruptly like that. So, but it's not, I mean, sure, you have your opinion. What is exactly so ugly about English? I mean, one thing English was really easy for me to learn, and within 1 year and a half I was fluent. But one thing that I really still hate is the pronunciation. It's just so freaking inconsistent. You got so many words in the English language that are written exactly the same, but you don't pronounce them the same. Like, why is it bear and tear, and sometimes tear and tear? They're both written exactly the same, but you have to pronounce them differently. Bow and bow, sometimes when I speak really fast, I mix them up still. I mean, I know what the correct thing is. A bow could be the part of a boat, or like the bow that you, like a bow tie, or a bow that you put in hair or on your pet. And bow is a gesture. But still, they are written exactly the same, but I still have to mentally take note of the fact that, pay attention, you need to pronounce that like this, and don't like that at all. Say close mind wasn't talking about gay, but like normal modern stuff, like people are simple, they don't know, like people still in 2007, 2013 and everything. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. So they're living as if they're a couple of years behind. Honestly, that is also a problem in Luxembourg. They got some fancy tech, but so many people are still completely tech illiterate. Or, I don't know, there's so many processes that we could have digitized, which would save a lot of time, but the bureaucracy is also a couple of years behind, let's put it like that. Best poetry in English, subpar the average Fairese poem. I'm sure that Fairese poems have very special quirks that you cannot replicate with other languages. Japanese also has poems like that. But then again, I don't speak Faroese, but I do understand what you mean. I'm sure that with Faroese you can have poems with grammatical quirks or other things that are very clever. Been writing songs but too shy to sing. I mean, I am currently taking singing lessons, and that's one thing that you need to train yourself to not be too shy to sing, because that will block you a bit. Can't really progress if you don't. You need to overcome the shyness, unfortunately. I know it's like having to jump, mentally prepare yourself to jump into cold water. I know the first step is the worst, but you just have to do it. Or you train a bit by yourself, and once you reach a level you're comfortable with, you can try. It's up to you. I see you've been doing so many creative things. That's great. Right, so 2 hours into the stream now. Fortunately, still no shiny Chimchar yet, still no shiny Relicanth yet, but let's see what this what's still in store for us. I've once had streams where at the end I got more shinies. That really depends on the stream. That is the fun thing about Wild Wednesday. You never really know what will happen. Believe that my songs are very good, but I don't believe in myself. I don't think I have a beautiful voice. Yeah, that's self-doubt. I know that is really hard to deal with. But look at it from this perspective. At least you're not an arrogant person. That's a good thing in today's world. And know that if you're too arrogant, like if you're really, really arrogant and you're in love with yourself, you don't criticize yourself. But someone who doesn't criticize themselves cannot really improve themselves, because you need to find not the flaws, but your little mistakes in order to be able to improve yourself. And so you don't have that problem, and that's already a step up that you have compared to other people. I mean, that mindset, that thought has helped me as well. And it's true. So I know it's hard to overcome. I mean, I'm speaking from experience as well. Unfortunately, but like I said before, at least we're not arrogant, right? What do you like to sing though, Ahmed? Is it just anything you like, or anything specific? Hit myself more than anything. I blame for all of my pain. Ah, that's very unfortunate. It's always the wrong people hating themselves. Struggled with self-hatred as well. Luckily, I overcame that. I don't hate myself anymore, because I never had any reason to hate myself. I'm not a monster or anything, so didn't deserve that. But overcoming that is really, really hard. Like more deep songs that have meaning? So you're a very poetic guy. Really nice. Can't wait till we're shutting down the fairy's internet for 2 hours. I used to be bad, but Jesus Christ, people after the pandemic have gotten terrible. Yeah, I also have that feeling. Everyone is saying that since the pandemic happened, so many people have become more selfish, more less. Their patience has become less. Well, has been lessened. It's not a shiny Chimchu, which is very unfortunate, but let's not give up. Used to spend way too long on my electronics. Yeah, that's also why I'm not usually a lot on Discord. I just try to use my phone not as much, because just that doom scrolling is not good for you, and there's just so much time that gets wasted by scrolling through social media. And I prefer using that time to learn other things, do more productive things now. At least with video games I'm okay, because at least when you're having fun, then it wasn't a waste of time. But maybe it's just me, but when I use my phone a lot for a long time and I just go through social media, I usually end up feeling worse afterwards, so then it wasn't really worth it, was it? I got kind of a shock. You said that they're shutting the internet down for 2 hours. Yesterday Facebook was down, or Meta, and I had to log into my Facebook account, which was weird. Usually when I use my devices I'm logged in already. And then not panic attack, but I did have the thought did cross my mind that was like, oh no, did I get hacked? But then a couple of people texted me, hey, I can't log into Facebook, can you? And then I knew it's what a worldwide issue. And already that was like, what, 1.5 hours when it was down? And people already were driven insane for that. Need to have a conversation. If I spend time on my electronics, there are exceptions for games. I deleted Twitter because obviously, that is just a cesspool of stupidity now. I always used to be afraid of making friends because of my belief that people would think of me as a free. Oh yeah, I know how that feels. So I end up being all alone for 24 hours, even eat alone, talk to myself. I've been there, done that, Ahmed. But just know that there are people like that as well, who are not really that extroverted, more introverted, and I mean, you don't come across as a freak to me. And what is a freak? Being a nerd, that's nothing to be ashamed of. But yeah, being alone for extended periods of times can really get to you. It's not healthy. Even if you're very introverted. Oh, excuse me. Even if you're really introverted, you still need contact, or social contact with other human beings, because human beings are social creatures. That's a very important aspect of our biology, of our everyday lives. It's the reason we're shutting it down, to prepare for war outages. Actually, that's not such a stupid idea. I think Luxembourg would be full of complaining, nagging people when that happens. I don't care about the justifications. I think we should do that more. Yeah, I'm thinking about Luxembourg should maybe do the same, and other countries as well. Because that can happen again. World War III maybe, I mean, I don't want to induce panic or anything like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if World War III will not be dealt with nukes, but would be a war that's almost entirely on the internet. Which doesn't mean that it's less dangerous. Propaganda can come a very long way. Psyops as well. And troll farms. AI can also make that happen. unfortunately. So doing something like that and preparing yourself with something like that is actually not such a stupid idea. Now that I'm thinking about it. I mean, wasn't it an attack? It was confirmed, right? That it was politically motivated. At least I have read things about that, but then again, I could be wrong, and should I be wrong, feel free to correct me, because I don't have ego problems, so I'm not gonna be all pissy when someone corrects me, because obviously that's gonna happen. Because I'm actually happy when people correct me. I don't want to spout nonsense on my streams. There's already enough fake news and wrong information flooding the internet. Especially now, the dead internet theory rings truer and truer every single passing day. Problem, I feel like I'm empty. I always tell myself don't miss up every word when I speak. I keep thinking as a big thing every I know, like you're really scared of messing up every single thing, but that's just counterproductive in the end. I'm against the Fairways radar because we're strategically important in war, so we're a target of. Man, imagine there was no war. How much money we would have for the people, to home the homeless, to feed the hungry, to do anything. That's like trillions of bucks that we could have saved to not do stupid things, and instead invest that into science and things that actually help us. But no, we need to do war because stupid ego problems. Sometimes I'm really ashamed of being a human being. But yeah, fortunately I am pretty much powerless when it comes to these. All I can do is vote. Maybe organize some political movements, but even so, you need to have people that agree with you, and doesn't look like a lot of people agree with me there politically, so just one person, right? Like how they incorporated bubbles in the soundtrack when you're underwater. It's pretty cute. Hopefully that will de-escalate that whole war thing. Just pretty pointless in my book. Okay. 3, 2, go. Life is the fear of the one who brought the anger, the one who brought hatred, who brought suffering. Fun fact, this is a reference. Anger, hatred, suffering. It's a reference, but I don't think I get the reference. Anyway, what is this war thing that mainlanders are talking about? Is it an international cuisine? Unfortunately not. I mean, Luxembourg has a growing army now, which we really freaking need that. We don't even have 1 million Luxembourgers. What you building an army for? Especially when you consider our political history, with Luxembourg being founded as a independent state, specifically to be a neutral state. To be fair, there are problems with neutral states. But still, I don't want to partake in any of this war stuff. I just know that my dad managed to dodge military drafts from both Luxembourg and Italy. And that's pretty funny how he managed to completely dodge being drafted for any war. Or not war, but just military training. It's pretty funny. Managed to do that twice. I mean, if I were a man and I would be in that situation, I would do the same. I don't want to die for any rich leader. Why? If they have a fuss, they should go fight themselves. I wouldn't go. I do see that especially in the US, they use the military so that these people get better healthcare and a college fund, but although I'm not sure if that is still worth it nowadays, because when you see how they treat their veterans, I don't know if you really want to become a soldier nowadays, even in the US. Star Wars reference in Phantom Menace, Yoda says fear bring angry, angry bring hate, hate bring soft. Oh, well, see, I'm one of these rare people who has only seen one Star Wars movie, so everything I know from Star Wars is through cultural osmosis. I've watched the third movie, so part 3. And that's it. Managed to avoid the draft because we don't have one. I managed to avoid the draft because I'm a woman, but we don't have a draft for a while now. It was different back when my dad was young, obviously. Right, still no Chinchu. Hopefully I'll get the frame soon. Maybe I can try getting a Relicanth in the meantime. Okay, so Relicanth is slot 3 and 4, okay. What is Chinchu? That is slot 1, alright. So anything that's not 3 and 4 and 1 is Clamperl. Okay. Those two give me Chinchus, and that one would be a Relicanth. Okay. Like I mentioned before, if you guys say please change the route, this is getting boring, I can do that. Just tell me. Maybe I'll go for a just a Relicanth this time. First 6 movies are great, you should give them a shot one day. My husband used to be a Star Wars kid, not so much anymore, but he told me the first movie 1, 2 and 3 are not good, and the 4, 5 and 6 are good. But then again, I can't really, not knowledgeable on Star Wars, so have to take his word for it. There's some SHIT Danish politicians trying to expand the draft to Greenland and the Faroese Islands. Ugh, oh no. Like seriously, can't you have gender equality before you get ethnic equality? Yeah. I mean, are they really that surprised that people are not ready to die for some random rich people? Well, apparently, I mean, I know I wouldn't. But then again, I'm not the target audience at all. I'm a woman. I mean, they do take women now in the military, but I'm not the best choice for that anyway. I'm not really strong, not tall. I don't have any military training, so why choose me? That would be a waste. Would be good cannon fodder probably, but that would be very tragic. Don't want to end my life like that. Also have a problem of acting like a defrauded. Then who I'm not, I may fake a smile, but you won't tell because I'm good at acting, but it's the truth to me now. I act like I'm happy when I'm not. Yeah, that's called masking. Unfortunately, a lot of people have to do that. And you're not a faker for doing that. I think society to some degree pushes us to do that. Sometimes I also have to mask because I'm autistic, and sometimes I have to appear more. I mean, I'm not doing any crazy things, but you can't just rock back and forth on a like during a meeting because people think you're insane. But I'm just stimming. That's just a thing I do. I have to suppress doing that or rubbing my hands because then people are like, oh, what's wrong with her? There's nothing wrong with me. I just like doing that. What time is it in Luxembourg now? For me, it's 12:20 a.m. It's 22:21. So 10 p.m. And planned on streaming at least for I would say 23. A bit more tired today because I didn't sleep well, but I'm still motivated to get some shinies. At least I want to see at least one more. Would be fantastic if you get both the Chinchu and the Relicanth. Usually I try to stream for longer, but yeah. Not at my top of my game brain-wise today. I mean, maybe you notice it. I'm not as... Okay, I'll continue talking after the counter's done. Not as eloquent as I like to be. Or loquacious. Usually I... Usually I speak better than today, but today I have to think a bit more to think of the right words. Not because it's English, but because I'm tired. And if you don't really sleep that much, then that does have an impact. Would never die for the Danish. I wouldn't die for any state. If they want to have their conflict, they should go themselves. I don't want to die for any country, any state. Not that I'm I mean, they're not missing out on me not becoming a soldier because I'm a 1.65 meter woman. I mean, not very muscular, not very strong. I'm very ditzy or maybe not ditzy, not an idiot, but I'm very stupid when it comes to movements. My motor skills are not the best. So they're not missing out on anything, but should they bring the draft back and I would have a son, I would also try my best so that he didn't have to go to war because it's pointless. Sorry if I had to make you take my therapist, doctor, because I feel like I should shut up and keep my problems to myself. Nah, it's okay. You're not the first one doing that. It's a thing. People open up to me. I always try to help as much as I can, but I mean, you know, I'm not a licensed therapist. I can only say what I know. But I mean, if you feel safe in this community, that's pretty nice. I like seeing that. I just all I can say is maybe get professional help if that is possible. I don't know how healthcare works in Iraq. Again, I'm from Luxembourg. We have one of the best healthcare systems in the world, so that's super privileged. Even though psychologists and psychiatry appointments, I mean, they're all booked they're all booked full, because we have a really drastic rise in people who are depressed or who have burnout. But still, I have access to therapists pretty easily. I don't know how that is in Iraq. I know that in America, where they don't really have it's private healthcare, which, sorry if I have to say my political opinion here, but I think that's absolute nonsense. You should not privatize healthcare. To be fair, I think almost anything shouldn't be privatized, but that's just me. So I always suggest seeing a professional, but then again, I am aware of the fact that in some countries it's really hard getting a hold of a therapist. I hope you can achieve what you want, Ahmed, and get over the self-doubt. I know how that feels. I was there. I'm still doubting myself too much, honestly. I mean, if I would say what I think, I would say not enough, but my therapist and my psychiatrist tell me I should stop constantly underestimating myself. So, trying to do that. But getting over self-hatred is that really helps, because that is nasty to deal with. Unfortunately, speaking of experience, it's just that eats away at you. Healthcare system is don't get sick or we send you to Denmark, also known as the worst fate imaginable for savages. Oh no, going to Denmark, imagine the horror. So you don't really have that many hospitals or professionals on the Faroese Islands, is that it? Or are you just outsourcing your healthcare to Denmark? I mean, Luxembourg is so good that even people across borders come to our hospitals to get treatment. We don't have enough doctors. We still need more. Hot cocoa. My husband made this cold, but still good. I mean, that always reminds me, I have a friend from the US. He's diabetic, and I worry too much about him. I know how much he struggles. He has diabetes type 1, and it's not his fault, but he has to pay so much for his insulin. He has to pay thousands of dollars, whereas if he would be a Luxembourgish citizen, he would not pay. Maybe he would pay €6 tops, which is nothing. You can afford €6. That's really not a lot. I really feel bad for him. It's not his fault. He just happened to be born in that place where they don't have healthcare like we do in Europe, and because of that, he struggles, because Not only has he has to pay rent like everyone else and other things, but he also has to pay thousands of dollars just to survive, because his body is attacking his own pancreas cells. He can't make his own insulin, he has to inject it. It's not his fault. Diabetes type 1 is either genetic or caused by some viral infections during childhood, which is not your fault. It's a autoimmune disorder, so your immune system, which should kill foreign pathogens, it doesn't kill that. It kills the cells that specifically in your pancreas that create insulin, which is very tragic. And it's even more tragic that he has to pay so much. I really feel for him. Just so unfair. Alistair, been one of the Pokemon gym leaders. I feel like I know how he feels. I'm also sensitive human. That's actually good. Don't let anyone tell you that that's not good. We need more sensitive and empathetic people in the world. Both for myself and others. I know how that feels. Felt bad for so many people, and I always try to look at all points of view. Yeah, I'm also, sometimes that brings me down. I try to not let it get to me too much, but yeah, like that example that I said with the guy in the US with diabetes type 1, it makes me so angry. It's just so unnecessary. Insulin does not have to cost that much. Even the inventor, I guess, the one who synthesized it for the first time, he didn't trademark it so that it would be free. Or at least not expensive, and yet capitalism always finds a way. It's so disgusting. Shiny Clamperl. Oh well, again? Alright, why not? I'm gonna catch that thing now. Good question which frame I've hit. I could have hit multiple frames there. But at least I hit a shiny frame. So let's go make it like it's to sleep. Was a revolt because the only doctor in the second largest city was being removed for his questionable past. Questionable past? That doesn't sound good. I mean, if he did SA, you know? SEXUAL abuse, then would be better. Shouldn't let doctors practice like that. But then again, I don't know what the questionable past is hinting towards. Hasn't gotten better though, not at the price of insulin, but still, it's still BS. Yeah, it is. But didn't the Biden administration lower the price per vial to maximum $60? I mean, I know that he is still struggling. I think it also depends on the kind of insulin, because there are different kinds, right? There's insulin that works for a short time, insulin that works for an intermediate time, and insulin that works for a long time. So not sure if that is the case with all of them. Okay, and let's just use a dive ball. Why not? And, well, random shiny Clamperl, or Perlu as it's known in German. Was a member of the Danish part of the Mustache Man of Party of Germany. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I don't know. That's also pretty questionable. But yeah, in that case, you need more. You definitely need more. More doctors that aren't from that mustache group. Oh wait, did you guys remember what the level was of the the Clamperl? Because I didn't. Pay attention now. Was it level 33? No, it wasn't level 33. I remember something level 20 something. Oh well. I wanted to calibrate, but now I've forgotten the level. That was stupid. I should have taken notice of that. Crud, what was it again? Let me check. Because I can open my stream, not a tab, or on my phone, and then check myself. Let's see. What was that? It was level 25. Alright, alright. So, yeah, I think this is the frame that I've hit. So let's calibrate. Saved already. Right. $25. Ah, thank you. I'll also check, but yeah. Thank you though, still. Sometimes you can calibrate like that, then you get the... Something makes things easier. So the frame that I'm currently aiming at for should give me a level 31 Relicanth, which hidden power Psychic with 70 power, and it's always going to be female. And it's always going to be adamant, and it's always going to have these IVs. And these frames here, this 72,000 frames, I don't check those because that just takes way too long. I mean, the wait time now is 4 minutes. That's already, I mean, it's not bad, could be better, but not complaining. But 72, that's way too long. Not gonna do that. Be pretty pointless. Let's see. Last time, funnily enough, last week I also got a shiny clam pearl that I didn't plan for. How many shiny clam pearls do I have now? Quite a lot. Because I did try to get a shiny Relicanth off stream before, but that I just was unlucky. And I got multiple shiny clam pearls out of that as well. But now I'm doing it live, and I mean, theoretically I could also look for one on my Ruby version. That one would also have better IVs, but see what I can get. I'm missing James here, but I mean, his family is still over from Australia, and seeing as that is really a long flight, I see why he's occupied with his family. Let's see who else may show up sooner or later. The Faroese Islands are part of the EU though, so you should have okay healthcare. Except maybe for the fact that you don't have enough doctors and you need to go to Denmark then. That is pretty Not the best case scenario, I have to admit, but... I mean, could be worse, right? Okay, let's see. Did I hit the frame this time? Maybe I'll hit the calibration 0. No, that is a normal clamp roll. Very boring. Spending time with your family, cringe. Do you have family from far away? Or is like every single family member from the Faroese Islands? I mean, I have family in Italy, but that is a 10-hour drive. And I'm really not a fan of taking plane, flying. So, and unfortunately the overnight trains just, they don't come as frequently as they used to, which is a shame. We're not EU has terrible fishing agreements. We are EU citizens though. Oh right, you're in that weird in-between position spot, yeah. I have family in Germany and Denmark. I see. I know that I have family somewhere, I mean, I have family that fled to the US back when World War II was happening. And they fled to Maryland, and they're still out there. I don't know if they're in Maryland still, probably not, but somewhere out there there's family, my family in somewhere in the US. Oh jeez, I have to apologize. It's like my brain is lagging behind. Really need to get more sleep. Maybe in Ohio? I also have distant family from my Italian side. Distant family apparently in Brazil. I mean, at least when I go by my family name, and I did some research, there seem to be some members of that family in Brazil. Wonder how they're doing. I was thinking of doing a genetic test to see if I have family somewhere, although that does have some unfortunate side effects, let's say it like that, because my sleep-deprived brain can't think of a better word. That means giving my genetic data to companies, and I do know, I am aware of the fact that they can use that against me. But at the same time, I want to know if I have any genetic problems or things that are inherited genetically and that I don't want to pass on to any potential future children. And yeah, that's kind of a dilemma. Do I give in and some company has my genetic code? But I think I know that unfortunately, I think my morbid curiosity or my extreme curiosity will win in the end. Right. Let's see. Usually when I when I want to stay awake for long, I drink coffee, but not now. I should not do it now because then I can't sleep for 6 hours. It's not a good idea. See how this goes. Again, I apologize. My rendering capability of my brain aren't top notch right now. It's really important to get enough sleep. I know there's so many people who say, oh, I sleep 5 hours a night, that's okay, but that's actually very rare. I know there's a subset of people who are genetically not gifted, but they have that genetic quirk that they really only need 5 or 4 hours, and that would be sufficient to them. But that is not true for everyone. That's just a small minority, and I don't know why some people flex with, oh, I didn't really sleep a lot. I don't know, that's not good. There's something called sleep debt, and that can accumulate. Granted, there's no interest in it on it, like with debt from a bank, but if you don't sleep well for during your lifetime, you risk developing Alzheimer's or other things. I mean, your risk of developing these things is elevated then, so I also try to, I mean, when I stream, it's not really possible, but I try to not look at screens too much 1 hour before going to bed. When I stream, that's unfortunately not really possible. I usually stream until midnight, my time zone midnight, but sometimes I finish a bit earlier because I'm too tired or I have other things to do, but usually after stream I go to bed pretty immediately afterwards. I think it's more of an environmental thing. What is the sleeping thing? I mean, if you look at screens, you get some light waves that are more closer on the blue spectrum, blue side of the spectrum, and that actually can confuse your brain thinking that it's still daytime, and that can mess up your sleep sometimes. But to be fair, the glasses that I'm wearing right now, they have a blue filter, so that does help. Yeah, it can be paid off if you take daytime naps. Actually, I did that before when I was really freaking tired, but I knew, okay, I have to stream tonight. I want that. I took a nap before, so like an afternoon nap. I used to be not be able to nap because when I used to do it, when I woke up, I ended up waking up more tired than I was before. But right now, I can take naps again, and it helps. I also have blue filter, #twins. Oh, you too? Yeah, I wanted to try it. I mean, I'm staring at screens for a long time, so it's not a shiny. Yeah, can't promise that I can go on for till midnight. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, the blue filter also didn't cost a lot. So there's that. Also a good thing, I have that on my sunglasses, is 100% UV ray protection. That is also pretty good. But I think you can get that on normal glasses, like sunglasses, reading glasses, or just glasses. But where I see it most is like ski mask glasses. They tend to have that. My sunglasses are also like with polarized light. They are so that when something is really reflecting, it doesn't blind me too much. That's really a good thing when you drive around, so I don't get blinded by some kind of reflection that you see. Sometimes you see when you, depending on where you drive. Oh, tomorrow's gonna be such a busy day. Friday as well, but yeah, the stream will still happen. And then there's also Saturday and Sunday, so hopefully that will make up for the lack of weekend streams that I had recently. I want all the glass enhancements. Well, gonna cost you a lot. If I were rich, of course, I would also get them all, but I know that I asked for 100% UV light protection on my normal glasses, so my non-sunglasses, and that would have cost me over 100 euros more, and that was... okay, maybe for another time. Keep forgetting that Easter is pretty early this year, isn't it? Usually used to Easter being in April, but this time, I mean, it always changes depending on when the full moon is and when it depends on the moon. The moon phases, to be exact. Have to check again. Yeah, it's in the 31st March. I mean, I don't really celebrate Easter. I never have. It's just, I mean, to me it's weird. Easter's usually always in April, and this time it isn't. The thing with the blue light filter, though, is that I do notice that you see the world slightly more sepia than you would normally, and I don't know if should I need new glasses if I'll do it again. I think I will, seeing as I look at screens for very long every single day, so there's definitely some advantage to that, but it depends. I mean, pretty annoying that not annoying, but I'm really myopic. I have -5 if anyone out there cares. So not the best eyesight. I like color with blue filter. Oh, you prefer that? I mean, it's not really that noticeable, but you do notice it when you look at very white things. Then you do notice that it's more sepia than if you would just look at normal transparent glass. Alright, still 100 seconds to go. I have a test tomorrow, so I should probably go. See you later. Yeah, I don't want you to stay up too late. That is important. So, good night and good luck for your test. I think I'm also going to what in the world, stomach? I've eaten earlier. Why are you doing noise, making noises now? But yeah, what I was about to say is I think I'm also going to finish a bit earlier today. Yeah, pretty. I mean, you can hear it, right? You can, not as talkative as I usually am, and I'm not as loquacious as I can be. My brain is running on, not on fumes, but not on empty, but on low energy. Let's see, I'm doing this reset and I think then another one, and yeah, good night, human name. And thank you for being part of the stream again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hit the hay after a couple of resets now. There's gonna be a lot of Wild Wednesdays this year, so... and still so many Pokemon that I still want to catch life like that. Oh, another shiny Clamperl. Level 25 again? Did I hit... yeah, I think I hit the identical... I hit the... oops. Wrong switch. I meant to switch into Rosina. See, my brain is not really... I'm definitely in the state that I wouldn't drive like how I am right now. I wouldn't feel comfortable driving. I think my reaction time wouldn't be as good as it can be. Okay, so I got the Clamperl again. And it was the level 25 one. I think it's this one. I'm just going with this one. Okay, and I still gotta catch it first. It's a nice shiny, isn't it? I especially love the fuchsia shell. Well, let's just toss a luxury ball for the lols. Seeing as I have 71 of them. Okay. Save again. And let's start with the calibrated timer. Let's see. Pretty funny that I got another shiny Clamperl, but well, that's World Wednesdays. I don't release them. I keep them, but what I do is I trade them over to my other games, or I put them on Pokemon Box. Let's see if my brain is still capable of streaming for long. Would have liked to stream a bit longer, but well, don't really want to push myself. I'm most fun when I'm awake. And I mean, it's pretty much a staple. Try to stream every Wednesday evening. Well, Wednesdays. It's pretty fun. Let's see where how the Safari one goes. That one will be a bit annoying in the way that I think you can't save in the Safari Zone, if I remember correctly. I need to save and then go in, pay, and then try and catch a shiny. And if I have one, I need to exit so I can save and then do it over again. I mean, seeing as every single reset takes 4 minutes, it's not a problem in that way, but yeah. I think entry to the Safari Zone costs 500 Poké-Dollars, which isn't a lot, but do have to keep that in mind. Especially if I get so many shinies I already have. For the Sapphire, not Sapphire, what I'm talking about. Oh, brain, you really aren't there, aren't you? For the Safari hunt that I'm gonna do, the Pokemon that you can get are already on the thumbnail. I already have a shiny Pikachu, I already have a shiny Doduo. Same goes for Wobbuffet, but not from the Safari Zone, but from the what's it called again? The Why Not that you can get via egg in that one hot spring city in Hoenn in Ruby. I RNG'd that egg to be shiny. It's a Wobbuffet now, but still, it's a really nice shiny. Pink ones are my favorite, of course. Okay, 1 minute remaining. Let's see if see what I still can get. If not, I think if I don't get Relicanth and Chinchou now, I think I'll start with this route again. Maybe I'll go to route 126. Not that that changes anything. I mean, the frames that I get and the shinies that I get are exactly the same. I mean, without a synchronizer, I cannot get Relicanth. I need to use a synchronizer, or else I would have to wait way too long to get a Relicanth. So it's good that I can use the synchronizer. 10 seconds, let's see. And okay, sure. Another one. This time level 33 though. So I hit this one. Has to, yeah. And this frame. Oh, that's one frame too early. Really? Was so close with getting a shiny Relicanth. I mean, I'm not complaining, but yet another shiny Clam Pearl. So I do hit the shiny frames, but sometimes just one single frame off that. Sometimes that happens. But now I'm kind of... I want to see how... Kind of motivates me now to do a couple more resets. Let's see. Maybe I can do still stream for half an hour. Let's see. It's really annoying when they do that. When they use Whirlpool and you're stuck in the Whirlpool, you can't switch out. So do keep that in mind. And if you want to evolve Perlu, or Perlu, that's the German name, Perlu. If you want to evolve Clamperl, it needs to hold a specific item. I prefer shiny Clamperl over the shiny evolutions, but that... What am I doing? But that's just because, obviously the shiny is pink. I like that more. Let's try a Premier Ball. 2, 3. And got it. That was easy. But I actually want a shiny Relicanth now. Save again. Okay. Let's do this again. And if you're wondering, every single shiny that I've gotten in the stream has the same PID, so personality identity. And that's the value of 42AC-D007, which is hexadecimal. And when you know that, you can actually calculate a lot of other things. For those of you who want more in-depth knowledge of that whole process. Yeah, I was just off by one single frame there. At least, if that was the... I mean, I did take a guess here. Frame 15,227 gives me a level 33 Clamperl. But... wait, there has to be another one. Actually, no, that is the only one that I see in this list that appears at level 33, so yeah. I was off by one single frame. Again, I mean, not the first time that has happened to me on this channel. Still funny when it happens. Not safe to drive, but still safe to RNG manipulate. Even though that also requires a very good reaction time, but I mean, I'm not endangering myself when I hit one wrong frame. With cars and driving, can't say the same. But yeah, right now I would not drive, I would refuse. I never get into the, like, behind the wheel when I'm tired or not feeling well. I'm just too afraid something will happen to me, or I know that there's then the possibility could arise that I can ruin someone else's life. And no, I couldn't do that. I don't know how people just get in behind the wheel drunk or really tired. I don't think they know what kind of consequences that can arise when you do that. If I hit this one correctly, then I should get the Relicanth. If not, more shiny pearls. How many shiny clam pearls did I get from this Wild Wednesday? It's quite a lot. Pretty funny. Maybe not. I would prefer if a Relicanth would show up now. Or a clam pearl. Not a clam pearl, no, I shouldn't jinx myself. Right. Here comes the truth. Let's see. Okay. That's a normal Perleus. Yeah, my brain is just not... I think I'm gonna end it here. My brain is already shutting down, as you can probably hear from the way I talk. But still, it was really fun. We got multiple shinies still. Got the shiny mine, and that was really good. So... the next stream is going to be on Friday. Hopefully I'll get my shiny Phoebus then. And until then, good night and see you next time. Goodbye.